Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the August 3rd, 2020 full moon in Aquarius, part 1 of 2. On August 3rd, 2020, we're going to have a full moon in Aquarius at 11 degrees. And of course, whenever we have a full moon, it's going to be opposite the sun. In this case, of course, the sun being in Leo. When you're talking about full moons in astrology, basically, for those of you that may not know, I mean, full moons can reflect very uninhibited, unrestrained emotional expression. It can be a very strong unleashing of very powerful and intense emotional energy. What may have been suppressed at one for a very prolonged period may finally come out. Whatever was held back, this is the time where you're going to often let that emotional energy out. If there was some kind of source of frustration or consternation, this is the time where you may be letting that energy out. And the thing about it is, you're talking about the fact that this is in Aquarius. I mean, this could be an expression of some, it could be a very unusual emotions for some. There's something called, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, called, an example would be like ellipsism, which is connected with being very disconsolate, feeling very disconsolate about really not want, maybe finding out one won't be alive to experience the future. I mean, this could be an example of somebody's like in a debilitated state, or an older person that may not they may not be able to be around to see the child, say their child graduate, or even go through grade school, or find some kind of career in their life. This is and especially, I mean, if you have like an exam, I mean, this is like making an adverse aspect, say, to Saturn as an example, because Saturn, of course, is the despondent, sad planet. But the point being, this could be very unusual emotional energy that might be coming out at this time for many. It could also be where a person may be making a declaration of wanting freedom, wanting their independence. If you've been going through a period where you've been very restricted and you've been held back to some degree, and your freedom has been inhibited, this is the time. I mean, when you're talking about a full moon Aquarius, that could be that ideal period where it's time. Okay, you're saying you want to break free from those figurative bonds. Uh, thing about this is, many people may be experiencing, I don't know what the situation is going to be right on this date exactly, but as far as any stipulations from the government due to the coronavirus, there might be people that might be, maybe there's some lockdown going on, and this could be a time where maybe the lockdown could end, and more freedom could be more expressed at this time. And this could also be really a wanting, just letting out, just wanting to express maybe more altruism and selflessness. Now, as another example, could also be, keep in mind that this is something that could affect all signs collectively, of course, but especially people that have the sun, moon, or ascendant in Aquarius or Cancer. Aquarius because it's going to be in their own sign, and Cancer, of course, because, well, Cancer, zodiac sign Cancer is simply affected by all, I mean, strongly by all transits and phases of the moon, because the moon governs Cancer, and it could be very strongly attributed as to why the zodiac sign Cancer can be so moody, fickle, and temperamental. Now, another thing is, when you're talking about full moons in astrology, there could be a greater propensity for accidents. The fact that this is an Aquarius, it could be one of a more bizarre or unusual nature. It's really being very careful. I mean, and I don't think it necessarily is just restricted to auto accidents. Auto accidents may be more prevalent on a full moon, but the thing is, I think when you're talking about the strong emotional energy, other accidents could happen too, because the emotions can be so dominant this time. And of course, being an Aquarius, it could be very erratic ones as well, and chaotic. I mean, you have to be careful of, I would say, erratic driving at this time. or there could even be something that an accident that could be computer related, because Aquarius can be associated with computers and electronics. I mean, it could be like one of those what you call like controlled those computer controlled boring machines, if they still exist. I mean, an accident associated with that. As an example, I mean, this is something, I mean, going on a ride, doing something very unorthodox, or just very outrageous, going on a moped down your stairs in your home or something. I mean, this is where you could have more propensity for these accidents of a very odd and unusual nature. And also too, when you're talking about full moons in astrology, they could represent endings, completions, and culminations. When you're talking about it being in the zodiac sign Aquarius, this could be a time where something of a very erratic and sporadic nature comes to an end. If there's some fluctuation, say you are on a situation, say if this is in your sixth house of work, employment, the daily routine, this could be a time when maybe some kind of erratic work schedule comes to an end, where there was strong fluctuation in your hours. It could be just a simple, just a basic unpredictable situation maybe coming to an end. It could be a situation with a person or a friend. Say if this falls in your 11th house in your natal chart, it could be a situation with a friend that might be somewhat erratic and unpredictable, may come to a halt at this time. It could be something over a very eccentric person may come to an end, or maybe if there was some expression of very strong selflessness and altruism that had been going on for some time, say on your part as an example, and you were like, you might finally reach a boiling point, you were getting nothing out of it, you were not getting any reciprocation when you thought there was potential for it, you might be saying enough is enough at this time. It could be some non-conforming behavior that maybe you're tired of comes to an end, or something that's very unorthodox. A situation with a friend or an acquaintance may come to an end, or it might be simply a completion of some kind of goal or aspiration reaches a culmination at this time. It could be some work that somebody might be doing, like on the internet, or some computer related project, or something with astrology that somebody had been working on for a little bit. Those are the kind of things that might end at this time, given that we're talking about this falling in the zodiac sign Aquarius. Now, another way this may manifest too, this could also be when, especially if this falls in the second, sixth, or 10th house in one's natal chart, this could be the ending or completion of some Aquarius type job or position or career. Say if this is it could be something, for example, with aerospace may come to an end, astronomy, esoteric subjects such as astrology, something computer related, which can cover a wide divergence of things, whether it's computer engineering or working as a computer tech, or somebody that is offering online support to somebody. It could be something with electronics, something where somebody might have been an innovator. This could, or maybe an invention might be completed at this time. It could be some position in robotics, or even meteorology, anything that may be Aquarius related. Now, another thing too is that when we're talking about full moons in astrology, they can also be associated with revelations or unveilings, what may come to light at this point in time. Now, it could be in some cases, this could be a self-discovery, somebody being, say if you have this in the first house, this could be very strongly connected with becoming cognizant and aware of some ability. Maybe there might be some ability where you discover that you're very proficient in terms of analyzing others, or being innovative or somewhat unorthodox, or being able to do something Aquarius related. I mean, such as computers or electronics, astrology, astronomy, etc., or expressing altruism. This could also be a time where you may be, it could be some revelation or unveiling of some very bizarre or idiosyncratic behavior by somebody that you might not have been cognizant of previously. It could be some shocking behavior that you were not really expecting. I mean, say if this falls in your fourth house in your natal chart, the fourth house can be tied into one's roots and ancestry. This could be a shocking discovery that one may make in connection with their home, their family, their roots, their ancestry. It could be going on to ancestry.com as an example and making some startling or shocking discovery. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, now another way this could manifest and pan out too. I mean, when you're talking about full moons in astrology, this could be a time where one becomes tired, full, very exasperated at something. This could be when you just had enough, when enough is enough. This could be a time where it could be somebody's radical behavior or somebody that's overly or maybe it could simply be your own freedom or independence being inhibited. This could be a time where you might become exasperated at somebody that was overly aloof or emotionally detached, or some bizarre behavior from somebody that you're finally getting tired of, a person that might have been very unpredictable or unreliable. It could be rebellious behavior. Say if this falls in your fifth house in your natal chart, it could be a situation with a rebellious child where you finally gotten tired of it and you let out your these emotions at this time. It could be somebody very unpredictable or some idiosyncratic behavior you might have been dealing with from somebody. It could be a time where enough is basically enough. And the thing about this too, another thing is that some of you may have heard about as far as in events that there's this thing, there's some kind of Microsoft planetary computer that's out, and I don't know how much information has been disclosed on it this time, but I'm thinking maybe there will be some information more about this. It's supposed to be some computer that's supposed to kind of keep track and analyze the ecological situation of the world, and or it could simply be a time where many people might be trying to discover more information pertaining to that if it's not divulged or disclosed online. I mean, if it's not divulged or disclosed in a way where it becomes newsworthy, I could see a lot of people trying to research this at this time. And you're talking also, I noticed something too very interesting, and it's hard to see this as coincidental. There's something, and I don't know the location, it's in the United States, I believe. It's something called Innovation Week, which is going to start some kind of event or extravaganza or expo, which is supposed to start on August 3rd, 2020, when we have the full moon in Aquarius. And interestingly enough, they said on the site, on the website, it's about showcasing the company product and service, and doing so for free. Showcasing Leo energy is showcasing. It's about doing something where you're going to get some kind of maybe some notoriety and recognition for. And I think this is where you have that energy when you're talking about full moon astrology. Of course, the moon is opposite the sun. In this case, the sun being in flamboyant Leo and tension-seeking Leo. So I think that's how a lot of that energy can manifest and pan out at this time. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for part 1 of the August 3rd, 2020 full moon in Aquarius. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be talking about part 2 of the August 3rd, 2020 full moon in Aquarius. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.